Hello, it is time to start the show. And I'm going to get started right after this.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I got a couple more people I got to add to it. You notice at the end it does say and guest and friends, and we're gonna just keep adding to it. And yeah, let's go, guys. It's Friday night. David Corona, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. Can't complain.
Ooh, I love it. Yep, why complain? Nobody else is gonna listen to it. You can't do anything with it. You know, at the end of the day, it might make you feel a little bit better saying it out loud, but then at the end of the day, if you say it too many times and no one's listening, it doesn't do you any good. It doesn't make you feel any better. And at that point, you're just complaining and nobody wants to hear it anymore. So,
All right.
hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. David, would you like to run through the chat?
Sure.
Let's start.
We got John Lalore, Red Jet. Oh, what happened? Go ahead.
John LaJoy.
Yeah, I can't say his name right.
JL
I said,
for like the Justice League.
Okay, myself. Who else? We got John J. We got James. We got Daniel Berry. We got Little Spongy. We got Don. And that's about it.
Yeah, let's go. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Appreciate y'all. So it's a Friday night show. We're going to have people popping in and going and everywhere. Please check your social medias. I've sent links to different people. And you know what? We just might get crazy and we just might drop the link in the chat here in a little bit. But yeah, thank you, everybody, for coming. So David Corona, there's something that maybe you and me can break down before everybody gets here. And then when everybody gets here, we can revisit this topic. So MVP. Yep. MVP. What does that mean to you?
The most valuable player.
Okay. All right. Does it define team or does it define league or how does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
So it just at the end of the day, whoever is voted, because votes matter. They're added up together, but you could be the most valuable player on one specific team instead of the overall league. Correct?
Yes, sir.
I agree. So looking at the scenario and looking at the past, oh my gosh, it's 2023. This year, the MVP is not out yet, right? So we're going to go all the way back to 1990. Would you like to guess how many quarterbacks have been the MVP since 1990?
12.
So from 1990 to 2022, you're saying 12 quarterbacks have made the most valuable player.
It's probably more than that. Maybe I say 12.
12. Okay. Do you want to break it down a little bit? Has any wide receivers? Has there been a kicker? Maybe a punter? Let's say a tight end, a defensive tackle.
It's usually all quarterbacks who gets the MVP, really. But yeah, I think it's quarterbacks. But they should give it to other players who's hot, wide receivers, tight ends, defense end. They should give it to everybody who deserve it.
One extra out of mine. So
We got a really close number here in the chat. And I'm going to bring it up. Very close, sir. Very close. So there's been 27 quarterbacks.
Oh, 27.
Since 1990 to be selected the most valuable player, either for their team or considered overall the league, because the definition means most valuable player, and it could define your team or overall the league. Apologize, got a little one fussy. He just woke up. So let me show you this overlay real quick. Hey, and shout out to Laura Cat. Thank you so much for coming, Laura. We see
Shout out
you
to
there.
Laura Cat.
All right, so we're gonna drop this overlay, and then we'll break this down a little bit. Oh boy. Oh, that's little Murphy. So here's the overlay, right? All right, so we're gonna go up here to the overlay, and we're gonna put it over our faces, and we're gonna break this down. Now, I did not write down the quarterbacks because sometimes the quarterbacks, when there's been 27 quarterbacks here in this situation, it's not necessarily it's not the necessary the point to put them down, but the 8 running backs that's been selected since 1990 is Adrian Peterson, LaDainian Tomlinson, Sean Alexander, Marshall Faulk, Terrell Davis, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, and Thurman Thomas. So right there's the breakdown of the definition: most valuable player, an award given in various sports to the best player on a team or in a league. Running back, again, 8 running backs, 27 quarterbacks, and I'm asking you guys, who's your vote for MVP? Please post in the comments your choice. If you want to tell me why, that'd be great. Me and David can go over it a little bit, and we'll try to read everybody's comments as well. And I'm going to take the overlay off for a second, but before we do that, I just wanted to point out Adrian Peterson won it in 2012. 2006 was LaDainian Tomlinson, and in 2005 was Sean Alexander. So those are 2 back-to-back running back years. Marshall Faulk won in 2000. In 1998, Terrell Davis won it. In 97, Barry Sanders won it. Again, back-to-back running backs winning the MVP. Emmitt Smith won it in 93. My little thing's right up a little bit higher than it should be. And Thurman Thomas won it back in 1991. And the MVP who won it in 1990, that was Joe Montana. So all these other players, all these gaps in between here to all the way up has been quarterbacks. So I didn't know, and this is my thoughts, but if it's not an overall player award, then why don't we just call this the quarterback award, or like the most valuable quarterback? Because if it's 27 quarterbacks over the last 30, 27 plus 8 is what? 34, 35? So you look at that many seasons real quick, right?
They should give it to other players. It's like this year, if Christian McCaffrey, he's playing good, all the touchdowns except one game, and he keeps on scoring. He should get the MVP, but they usually like to give it to the quarterback. I like to have Brock Purdy. He's doing good. So yeah.
Let's bring in our good buddy and our good friend, David McNiner. Hey, David McNiner.
What's up, McNiner?
What's happening, guys?
Doing good, good. Thank you.
So we just got underway a little bit, and we were just talking there. What's the MVP, and what should it really truly consider? Should it be renamed? Because in the last, again, I would say about 35 years there, we've had only 8 other players win it that were a non-quarterback. And funny, they were all running backs. So should this be the Q and R MVP? You know, are you really a really good player? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to kickers or punters. It's of course it's not going to go them, but it doesn't seem like it's going to left tackles or centers or safeties. It's not going to wide receivers. So, David, what's your thoughts? What does MVP mean to you? And we got the people in the chat putting out their thoughts. And again, guys, in the chat, please tell me who you think this year's MVP should go to. And if you want, tell us why. David, what's your thoughts? David McNiner.
I honestly think it's been like a quarterback award for a minute now, right? I don't like when was the last time a non-quarterback actually won this thing?
Oh, let's look at the overlay. I have that right here.
It's 2012. We got 2012, we got 2006, 2009 back to back. We got 2000 Marshall Faulk. We got 1998 Terrell Davis. We got 1997 back to back Barry Sanders. And we got 1993 Emmett Smith. Is that him?
Yep.
And we got 1991 Daryl Thomas, running back.
Thurman Thomas, Buffalo Bill.
Daryl Thomas. Sorry about that.
Was that? You're good. Dallas Cowboy. Barry Sanders is Detroit Lion. Terrell Davis was a Denver Bronco. Marshall Faulk. What year was that?
2000.
He was a St. Louis Ram in that one.
Lamb chop.
Sean Alexander was a Seattle Seahawk. Dalian Tomlinson was a San Diego Charger.
San Diego Chargers, yep.
Yeah. And Adrian Peterson was a Minnesota Viking.
Yep.
But I mean, dang, dude, that's really not a lot of non-QBs. It's been over 11 years since a non-QB won it.
You think this year Christian McCaffrey should get it because he's doing good?
At this point, you know, he has a lot of rushing yards, a lot of receiving yards. There's a lot of little stuff he does too, though. Like, you know, he's a distraction for other players. It's a lot more than him just being a running back. So yeah, I really do think he should. You know,
I think so too.
Brock Purdy might get it though. I mean, well, look at our team. You know, we've been a quarterback away from being a real, you know, we've been a Super Bowl contender, but we've been a QB away from actually winning it. Could he be the guy? Yes, but they still have something to accomplish though. Right?
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy's gonna get it.
Before we go on, let's bring in our little buddy, our favorite little Eagle, our future faithful 49er. I like his new little. Oh, sweet! He switched it to Little Sponge. He had it saying "Bang Bang Niners." So anything that's not.
I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Somebody must have switched it when I was coming in. It must have been from like a stream previously when somebody switched my name.
I don't know how to do that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I was questioning it for a second, and then I hit Enter Studio. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I didn't switch it, but I thought it was funny. So your thoughts, Sponge? Sorry, David, go ahead.
I was just saying, do I sound a little better now? Because I just checked my mic settings and it defaulted back to my headset, but the mic in my laptop actually sounds better.
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay.
All right,
So
let's check the chat real quick.
What was the question again, Brad?
Real quick, let me run through. We'll get to that. Here's the question, and before you answer it, let's run through the chat. But the question is what does MVP mean to you? And in the last 35 seasons or so, give or take a couple, California math, apologize, but there's been 27 quarterbacks and 8 running backs since 1990 to 2022, because this is 2023. This year hasn't been released, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Of all
35
the-
years. That is 35 years.
in all these years, right? It primarily goes to a quarterback. So should we retitle this award to the most valuable quarterback? Or should we keep it, like the way it is? Because it doesn't seem like it's going to go to anybody other than a quarterback. And if it goes to somebody else, it's a running back. Let me bring in Red Jet Shell. She's down here at the bottom. And we appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you, guys.
There she is.
Red Jet.
Hi.
How was the game?
It was dope. Great time. I see our Philadelphia young blood in the building.
I got 2 more
Good,
weeks for me.
kiddo. I see. What's up? Thank you for having me again. The Hollywood Squares.
So I got the hat on backwards, guys. If you don't know, this is who I'm rooted for MVP. I hope it doesn't go to Dak, but it just seems like the Cowboys have a huge what would you say pocket? Is that a good way to say it? They have a very big influence on the NFL, and it seems like from New York to LA, they're talked about. And if I'm correct, isn't there a training camp in LA? David Corona, do you remember that? Cowboys practice their training camp.
Oh yeah, it's in it's out of California. I forgot where, but I know what you're talking about.
So it's just like, is that like a secret California team, or what are they doing, right? So again, I would like to see Brock Purdy win the MVP. David McNiner, I think he hasn't got to speak on it yet. Corona, I think he said he would like to see Purdy or CMC, and I agree. I just don't want to see it going to Dak. I think at this point it's Purdy, Dak, and CMC. Those are the three. So, Mr. McNiner, what's your thought? Go ahead, David.
But who has more? Who has better stats? Is it Brock Purdy or Dak right now?
So that's a little debatable because I think Brock Purdy leads in every category that's like the primary categories for passing. But I think Dak has just a couple more touchdowns than him, and
okay.
I think he has like 2 more touchdowns than Purdy does. But David McNiner, your thoughts? If you could vote right now for MVP, who are you voting for? No bias. You take your 49ers shirt off. It's okay.
No bias. No, that's a hard thing to do because I got a lot of bias. I mean, a lot. It's hard to vote against CMC, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It really is. It's hard to. You look at all the other good teams in the league. The Dolphins have Tua, but it's kind of they're kind of like the Eagles of last year. They got a cake schedule and
whatever.
Now they're gonna. I think they're gonna be hitting a bumpy part. So we'll see what happens there.
You want me to pull out my Michael? I heard that.
I have to say Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, man. I do, because without him, what are they doing? They're probably a sub 500 team.
Sure that.
All right. CMC's definitely he's got a good reason to be the MVP, doesn't he? He's definitely making a good case for himself. Red Jet Shell, you got to vote. Who are you voting for?
To be funny, I'll start being funny by being funny. I'm going to give the MVP right now to Bryant Culp for the assist on Tower Dome Show for answering the bat signal while I was by myself playing host. So that is my MVP right now. and he and I had this conversation, so I've already made up my mind. Bryant goes above and beyond. He always is in everyone's. He's in the building saying like and subscribe. He's always supportive of everyone's channel, what everyone's doing. So on that note, I would give it to Bryant. But if I was gonna vote for a player, oh gosh, because
I think
Brock
we
is
know
in the
the answer.
conversation. Quiet, Philly fam. CFC is in the building. I kind of would have to go off the. I would have to go off the grid and kind of, dare I say it, the cowgirl. Dare I say it? Dare I say it?
Oh, wow.
Off, but dare I
Wow,
say it?
that's
I know, right? Off,
unpredictable.
right?
Okay.
Why? Because of the time. I know Brock has been kicking behind. We all know this. It's nothing new. It's not breaking news. But Dak does have more time. That's a fact. I'm just speaking facts. Bump the Cowgirls. We don't rock with them.
Except when they don't play good defense.
Period. So how they do against Buffalo remains to be seen. Same could be said about that Bird team. Same with that bird on bird crime going on Monday night. The same could be said. Same could be said there. But yeah, I kind of go towards
Bad
that.
game.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a bad game for the Sea Turkeys.
I don't know, little sponge. We'll see. They're playing for their playoff lives. Haven't the Eagles clinched?
David,
No, we haven't.
David McKnight.
Yo.
I need you to carry on for me, buddy. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Wait, should I answer this question now?
So we'll have the Philadelphia Eagles clinch the playoff spot there, little sponge?
Mm.
They haven't?
No, we haven't. I thought it said something on the broadcast last game that said we did, but now they're saying we didn't. So it's because of the loss. So I was a little confused for a second, but
It's only one team who made the playoffs so far.
one
You know
team
who
has
that
made
is?
the playoffs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wonder who that is.
Yeah. Can I answer
RVD.
Here, this team right here. That team right
Can
there.
I answer the MVP
Best team
question?
ever.
We all need a little juice in our lives. Just saying.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Yeah, and some of us need a little Jake Moody in our life. Okay, but what?
Be honest though. Be honest though, Bungie. Don't lie.
What about the MVP question?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't think it's necessary. I think it's an offensive award. I don't think it's like a defensive award or anything, because I think what really makes the team go for it, I know defense wins championships, but you also need a really good offense to go to the Super Bowl as well and make it far in the playoffs, because just the defense isn't going to do isn't going to do great for your team. Like, you need a half decent quarterback, and you need weapons around him. Every quarterback needs weapons, especially Brock Purdy. But I think this year it's down to 4 guys. I know who I want to win it, and that's Jalen Hurts. But I think that injury to Tyreek Hill really has given that award to McCaffrey, because I feel like they should give it to Hill, though, just because they need to kind of switch it up, because they've given it to running backs and quarterbacks for the last 35 years, correct?
Okay, stop right there. How old are you? How old are you?
Take 22 off of that. Take 22 off.
He's only 14.
I'm done. Go ahead.
But I feel like they should switch it up this year, because Tyreek Hill has had a great year. The injury definitely threw it off a little bit, but he still went out there and played. So who knows what if he out for is there any update on that, Brian?
Little Sponge, you just
Okay,
brought up a player. You just brought up a player that is the most valuable player on his team, Tyreek Hill. He is.
Mm-hmm. He is.
Without him, they don't look like they're the same offense.
Mm-mm.
I think they should give it to him as well, just because.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna give it to a wide receiver. If they're gonna give it to MVP, quarterback, I think they're gonna give it to a running back.
I don't necessarily think it's a quarterback award, but the reason they don't give it to a defensive player is because there's such thing as a defensive player of the year. And I feel like the offensive player of the year usually goes to a wide receiver. So that I feel like that would go to Tyreek if he doesn't get MVP. But you also can't take McCaffrey out of the conversation.
That's an interesting point, but I like what Red Jet said, and we're gonna go back to that just real quick. And it's kind of like what we said earlier with the overlay. What does MVP mean, and what does it have to define? Well, it says two different things, and it says two things, and it says one thing at the same time. So you have to put your glasses on and read between the lines, right? And let's talk. So you have MVP, most valuable player for the team or the league. So Dak Prescott could win the MVP and be the most valuable player on his team, but not be the best player in the league, where CMC or Purdy could actually truly be the best player in the league. Now, people are going to look at Purdy and say, oh, well, he's not an MVP because he's got all these weapons around him. But somebody still has to have that in their head to be able to get the ball out and deliver it to where it needs to go, right? So you got to be able to, orchestrate, and you have to go out there and deliver. You can't just say hike and then everything's just going to be, easy peasy. It's not that way. You have to know which way to hand the ball off. And we've seen it early in Brock's career. They've been off sides where, running back went on one side and he went on the other side. Now everything's clicking. And this guy is, you want to call him a game manager, you want to say whatever. He is somebody who come out of college who played 4 years. And each year, I know people said his talent level, right? Well, his first 3 years, he had really good numbers because he had really good talent. He stayed in college while his other players were leaving. So it's like every year you have a little bit of a changeover, right? Well, then by the time he's there, he's the veteran and he's playing with a bunch of rookies. You don't see there's got to be a little bit of a drop off, right? So again, Tyreek Hill, do you guys think he's going to make it? I don't, because I think he had the injury. That's, unless like Darnell says right here, if he breaks the record, and I think that's what the all-time wide receiver scoring record or something like that for the season. I think is that the record? James, let me know in the chat. But I'm gonna bring in John Jay here in a second, and that's the other thing is it's either going to be a quarterback or a running back. The statistics, the numbers show it right now. Over the last 35 years, it's either been a running back or it's been a quarterback. And there's been too many cues to get it in the last MVPs to not think or not expect it to. Again, why don't we just rename this the MVP award? The MVP for quarterback, the most valuable quarterback, right? So we got to put some numbers in there, some letters, and change it around. And if anybody in the chat wants to break that down, sorry, Sponge. If anybody wants to name it or title it in the chat, we can vote on it and we can run with it. Let's bring in our friend John J. Ultimate Report.
What's up, everybody?
And
Happy Friday.
What's up, John?
What's up?
And
all right.
Brian,
So what's that? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I feel like even though it has been running back and quarterback the last 35 years, they got to switch it up at some point and it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna be giving it to defensive players in the upcoming years, which just the amount of guys that are coming out that are, awesome, great players.
That's what's gonna be Bosa pretty soon, then.
And I feel like that's why
You would hope that's what's going to happen. But at this time, you can't expect that to happen because it's been over 35 years that a defensive player has won this league, this award. In 35 years, it's been offense, and the way the league has progressively changed. It's not a defensive game anymore. This is an offensive game.
But you also got to think about it at some point in the next 10, probably not 10, but 15, 20 years. You got to think about it. It's going to change a ton. You're going to have...
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because if it's been like this since the NFL pretty much started, that's pretty much the trend that they're pretty much going to lean towards. Because wide receivers are the most popular positions in football.
He's right.
Etc. Go ahead. My bad.
But with the new generation coming in, and
he is right. He is right to a degree where. Well, Sponge, you are right to a degree. There has been MVP players other than offensive players to win this award, but it's been back in the 80s. We're going all the way into the 80s now, and it's happened. But the way I just don't see it. I don't see it, but that's okay. Platform 246 is here. He says he sees you, Spongy, and he also says go to bed. That's funny. We got a wolf
I was talking to him. I was talking to him earlier.
And we got Teardown in the chat. Thank you, Teardown, for coming through.
But I think, of course, they got to switch up at some point.
Awesome, guys. Okay, so
right
let's give it to John Jay. No worries. Let's give it to John Jay, and let's ask John Jay what his thoughts are on the MVP, discussion for this evening, and who he thinks should be the MVP, who he expects it to go to, and is it who he's hoping? John Jay, your thoughts?
Let's see. I want. So if I was in charge of the MVP voting, I would give it to McCaffrey because he's going to have over 2,000 all-purpose yards. There's still, I think, 4 games left in the season. For sure, he's going to get that mark. He already has, I think, 18 touchdowns already. He's going to be in the 20 total touchdown mark. Worst case scenario for him, if he's not the offensive player of the year, East Coast bias, that's just part of it. But realistically, it's a quarterback award, and I know they call it the MVP award, but I think everyone knows it's the quarterback award. And the quarterbacks, and unfortunately, if you're going to go with the stats, Dak and Brock are 2 quarterbacks that have the highest percentage completion, the most passing yards, the most touchdowns, interception ratio. And I think that's what it's going to be. If it's not Dak Prescott, I know 49er fans want it to be Brock Purdy. Again, that's another, what if? We don't know. They might give it to Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill's name is being talked about so much in the media. Again, this is the worst MVP class in a very long time when they're saying a wide receiver is going to win the MVP. It really shows you how the best quarterbacks this year are not at the level that they were in the last 5 years. So I want CMC. He deserves it, all the hard work he's done for the Niners. But they're probably going to give it either to Tyreek or Dak.
And John, you can't.
Oh wow! Wow! Okay. So another vote for Tyreek. Good, Sponge.
I think.
Okay, so let's we got another vote for Tyreek. Let's go ahead and show this. I'm going to try to present this, and we're going to look at it. And if we can do this, we're going to look at the last MVPs. And right here it is. Everybody bear with me. I don't do this too often. Can everybody see the screen?
No.
Okay. All right, so we went all the way down to 1990. Okay, and the last player was Joe Montana, and then we had some people in the chat. James and Terradome as well. Speak up. Joe got it back-to-back years. Boomer Esiason, John Elway, quarterbacks. Then Rookie of the Year, linebacker Lawrence Taylor, 1986. Running back, quarterback. Holy crap! A kicker in 1982. Oh my gosh. Wow. And I just said kickers never win MVP. Oh my gosh.
Okay. And a fullback won it in 1962.
There you go. So I don't think we have to really, way down there, 1962, but you can see it. This is typically an offensive award. Let's see how many times it has actually. So we have a tackle down in 1971. Quarterbacks, a kicker. And yep. So what? The only time a defensive player has ever won it was Lawrence Taylor. Am I looking at that correct, folks?
And the D tackle, the guy, Alan Page.
So since what, 1957 here, guys, all the way up into 2022, there has not been more than one defensive player.
There's been two, I think. Yes or no?
I didn't see the second one, but you can go through the
Alan Page. Alan Page, he was down there a little bit. And
okay,
said LT.
I take your word for it. I'm not going to go back through that. There's all the way down to 1952. There's not that many defensive players that popped out.
Yep,
you're right. It's not many, right?
Well, you were not even born, little Spongy.
Okay,
neither were we. Oh my God! In his defense, we weren't either.
All right.
1971. Wow.
All right. So, see, I thought that was a tackle, though. See, I thought that was a rookie of the year tackle. It's okay. But it's really information and history of the league is really neat. And if you get back into like numbers, I'm kind of a number guy. I like looking at the records and comparing it and say, wow, we haven't won there since 30 years. Oh, wow, we don't play well on the road. So sometimes when people do their betting and their breakdowns, I'm not a betting man. I like gentleman bets. I'll shake your hand, and I'm not getting a tattoo anywhere on my body. I tell you what, we don't do those bets.
Shout out to David Corona.
Wow.
Shout out to David
if you
Corona.
know, you know. But David,
with his
you might be getting a jersey, David. So yeah, guys, it's Friday night. I hope the feel is right. I think we got a good chance to win MVP, but to me, again, it comes down to Brock and Dak. I think unless CMC starts really like doing something special, he might have to win 2 or 3 more games. But I don't see who's handing him the ball again, right? So you got to think about it like that. But all right, so I'm going to give it to you guys. Let's go ahead and, I'm going to give it to David if David McNiner has a question for the panel, and then we'll start throwing it to everybody. I am just super like on the cloud 9. We had a kicker win MVP. I don't think I'm going to stop.
Game over.
Facts.
Call it. That's it. I love it.
Mr. McNiner, did you have anything that you would like to bring up to the panel, or actually, I could also talk about what happened on Thursday if you guys would like.
Oh, that was.
Let's talk about a team that was just held scoreless, so scoring 63 plus. I mean, that's
stop it.
Let's definitely talk about that.
Let's talk. Please.
All right. About it. So the team that was held to 0 points the week before goes out and puts up a franchise whopping record. The third time in 30 years, 63 points has been scored. the Raiders
Oh.
franchise set a record against the Los Angeles Chargers, San Diego Chargers, same organization. The Chargers fired their head coach over the whole ordeal.
And their GM. And their GM.
We can only hope that the Chargers will now get somebody in there to take that team to the next level. I'm not a Charger fan, but them being in California, you want to see teams do good. The Chargers have had really good teams. They've had really good success, but they got a super team down there, and they don't have anybody behind it that can put it super back together or can keep it glued together. So I am interested to see the new GM come in and the new coach, because at this point, Chargers. I think the Chargers are better than the Chiefs. They're just not playing to their expectations.
If Justin Herbert was playing, you think the score would have been like that?
Oh boy, he's a good quarterback, but see, they've been losing with him as well.
Yeah.
And Justin Herbert might have
close ones.
Justin Herbert might have the second best hair in the league. Okay, I'm just saying, but
not the hair.
He's a good player. He's a really good player, but sometimes you need more than just hair, and you can't just go out there and win it all on your own. You have to play with the team.
Matter.
And I think the team just wasn't playing with each other.
Not at all. Not at all.
If you know, you know. Let's bring in our buddy down below. Good friend of the show, good panel member, has been on countless shows. Mr. Carcast.
Hello,
Carcast.
what's up, Carcast?
Carcast.
Boo.
Don't boo him. Don't boo him.
Yeah, don't boo our 49er guy. Let's boo you, Little Spongy.
Nah, bro, it's all love. What's up?
Yeah,
What's up,
let's keep it. Let's keep it, copacetic, and positive, all good vibes. James Ernall right here brings up a good point, and I've heard it around the league a little bit as well from multiple people. I believe it could happen. Do you guys believe that the time
I was about to say that
is over? Is there the marriage over? Is there a divorce coming? Or is Bill Belichick going to leave?
Yes, it's already.
I don't think so.
I do. I think it's time.
You think so?
They already came out and said it. They already came out and said that they're parting ways in the offseason.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this is talks, but it's not official. But yeah, they have been talking about it. They've been buzzing about it.
It's
It's on all the networks. It's everywhere.
But
Yeah.
they're talking about it. You got to take in, because they won't be saying, "Oh, this legendary coach," especially from that organization. That's maybe a top 5 organization of all time. And
that's the beauty of media. They do this to get you engaged. It's like Pac-Man. It's the very same mentality. So they can talk all they want, but unless it's official and ink to paper, that's what they do. That's to get us talking, to get us analyzing. That's the whole purpose of the media.
All right.
Belichick
Should we all put our
200 years old? Yes. Can we all put our hats on backwards just for fun?
Right. So this is good right now. Okay, Belichick's going to leave New England. Okay, he's up there in age. A lot of people move to warmer states. A lot of maybe he'll go play coach for the Arizona Cardinals. It could happen, but I see him going to LA. I see him going to LA, maybe even doing a couple commercials or something, like something where he's not talking too much either. Cause he doesn't seem to be much of a talker at the press conference, but isn't it really convenient that the Los Angeles Chargers, I still have a hard time saying that, and the Los Angeles Rams, I can say that because I know they've been everywhere. The Rams are the nomads of the NFL, but the Chargers and the Rams have the same color uniforms. So it's almost like the stadium was built that way. So, and they designed it so these two teams could play with each other. They kept the Raiders out of LA. Kept the Raiders out of LA because the Raiders have a bigger fan base in LA than St. Louis does. They have a bigger fan base than San Diego does. So, I mean, it does not make it could have worked the same way. You know, the Raiders and the Rams being down there. San Diego did not have to move, but it's all about money. So,
Right. Same with us going to Santa Clara. Same thing.
Yeah, it's really, really sad. And I know this is not a football show. Well, this is a football show. It's not a baseball show. But what's happening with the Oakland A's moving to Las Vegas really is horrible. It tears up, cities. It tears up communities, and it doesn't
You
make
see that stadium? You see that stadium they got? That's crazy. They got like a dome goes like that, and in the it's something like it's something like Seattle. It's something like Seattle kind of.
Yeah.
And like it's pretty crazy.
It's a wild rendering. It's wild. I was like,
I know.
Wow.
I know because they can play at night, but in Nevada, I've heard like it can get up to 125 degrees. And I've played baseball. I've played it like in 80, 90 degree weather. If that's hot, imagine 125 degrees. So you do need a dome with air conditioner, especially for the fans too.
I gotta say this. I understand it is a football show, but I'm a big baseball fan, and the A's being in Oakland, and I know it's sad for you guys because you guys are close. You know what I mean? And I understand it is tearing apart, a city, but you also got to think about this: the team, the owner, he has to go. He's not good, and he's what led your team to do this. Because he doesn't want to pay players or do any of that, make the fans happy. And I think rebranding out to Vegas, and even one of the players,
and no tax free.
Yeah, and even one of the players who. You guys might not know him, but he was your guys' closer last year, Trevor May. He retired this year, and he came out on this platform, Twitch, and he was live streaming. And he came out and bashed the general manager of the owner of the team, and he completely bashed him and said a lot of bad things about him. And he apologized to the fans about what happened the last few years. And he said, this team is in shambles because of, John Fisher.
Well, the A's, okay, again, it's not a baseball show, folks, but we're going to talk about it for a few minutes. Shout out to Corey Davis. It's sports show, right? And it's Friday night. We're having fun. But the A's truly have been in really, really a bad situation since, let's really talk about Moneyball, right? When it went back to 2002 or something like that. The A's haven't really had they've made the playoffs a couple times since then. But every time they get a good player, they trade them off. They just, I live here in Stockton, and that's the Ports, and they're the farm team or they were for a while for the Oakland A's. We used to be the Texas Rangers farm team. Why is a California team a farm team for a Texas team? Again, that don't make no sense to me.
The minor league baseball teams.
If Dallas can practice in Oxnard, make that make sense.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that right now. Oxnard, yeah.
Somebody with a bell. Ding, ding, ding. Red Jet with the win.
That makes no sense. Like, why would if
she got
Dallas, it? If you're from Dallas, you're practicing in Los Angeles, in the area of Los Angeles,
baby.
That's right. All right. Okay, so let's bring it back to the football. And the Raiders put 63 points up, 63 to 21. And that's just crazy. Crazy. We got 3 games going tomorrow. Are the Raiders back? I don't think the Raiders are back. They were in second place there for a little while, but I don't think they're going anywhere.
You think they're going to fire the coach?
What's that?
You think they're going to fire the coach?
No.
Yeah.
No, he only just came in.
The Raiders.
as the interim.
He's an intern. Yeah,
You know, can I talk about that for a second?
Sure, Sponge.
He seems like one of those guys who, the fact that he's come in as an interim head coach and he's won. I think he's only lost one game as the interim head coach. Am I correct about that? And it's the 3-0 loss.
I think so. No, let's go and look.
No, I believe they lost.
They lost 3 in a row.
They lost. Well, no, but I think at least 2 of them were with Josh McDaniels at head.
They lost to Kansas City too.
Casey, so it was 2 losses under the interim head coach, right?
I'm pretty sure they lost another one.
Okay.
But I think. But no, you can.
Yeah, they lost 3 in a row.
So
was with
the coach is 3-3 because after the Lions game, everybody the general manager and the coach got fired. They beat the Giants, they beat the Jets, they lost to Miami, Kansas City, Minnesota, and then they beat the Chargers. So he's 3-3.
Okay. So the fact that, and it seems like these guys are actually going out there to play for once. It seems like they didn't, and they didn't like Josh McDaniels. You could tell with McDaniels, you know, he like the game that he got fired on. He in the clubhouse. Before he got fired, he asked everybody what they disliked about, I guess, playing under him. I don't really understand why he did that, but the players showed a lot of frustration. Yeah, you could tell they didn't. And shout out to Aiden O'Connell, the MVP of the Raiders. 62 points on a Chargers. Impressive.
63.
63. Well, okay.
Not far off.
So I play fantasy, and I was looking at the running back this week, and I don't know if you just said his name, but Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
He was out.
Josh Jacobs was out, right? So I was looking at the Raiders running back, and he was projected to get decent points. He went off for 33 points. The guy really had a really good game. So look forward to seeing him in the rotation next week. But again, this was against the Chargers. And I believe Terradome said it best. The Chargers gave up. They gave up. That's just crazy. But again, for a team to get shut out and then come back the next week and put 63 points up, and they could have put up more points. Let's be honest. I think they slowed down.
They had 42-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
They had 42 right by halftime. Yeah. Sure
42-0.
That's crazy. 42 at halftime. 0.
They could have beaten that Miami one. 73, 72,
Oh yeah,
whatever.
they played really well. I'm not gonna lie. The O'Connell, I think that's his best game against the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a good team, and they held the Dolphins to 14 or 17 points because it was a 4-point game. So
exactly, not wrong.
I know Purdue doesn't get a lot of respect in college football. Drew Brees went there.
Yeah. Just saying.
Okay, so let's look at this. The Niners are playing the Cardinals this week, right? And we are going to be in Arizona. And I believe there was a uniform change. I don't believe we were initially supposed to be wearing the red jerseys, and now we are wearing the red jerseys. The Chargers. Oh my gosh, we were talking about them so long. The Cardinals. That's why I got confused. The C, right? So
both
we have the
horrible
Cardinals.
teams.
Both horrible teams. The Cardinals will be wearing their all-white uniforms, and I believe the percentage of the stadium is like 60 to 40, or 60 something. I think it's under 65%. It's going to be favored Niners. The Niners,
61
travel.
39.
Okay, thank you. We travel really well, folks. You got to be proud. The red and gold show up.
If I had money like that, I'd be traveling too. You know?
I keep forgetting this is in Arizona. I don't know why I keep thinking it's a home game. God.
I mean, it kind of.
Wait,
I mean, it
No,
kind of.
yeah, it
no
kind of
Hargrave.
is a home game for you guys.
I know,
No
but
Hargrave either.
I keep thinking it's in Levi's for some reason. I don't know why.
We don't got Hargrave for this one.
I don't know. Kinlaw's been playing up to
Yeah,
par.
we have 3 out. We got a trio out
Mhm.
Sunday. It's 3 of them.
Yep.
Crap. That means we can't sleep. That
McNiner.
means we can't get comfortable. We can't do nothing. We have to play this game for real.
Exactly.
Nick
What's
Niner,
up?
your thought is Kyler Murray a different kind of quarterback than Jalen Hurt? And how would the Niners have to prepare for him differently than they would for Hurt or even Lamar Jackson?
So Jalen Hurts, you know, he's a really good running quarterback. His passing skills aren't the greatest. You know, they're good, but they're not the greatest. Kyler Murray is a better passer than Jalen Hurts is. You know, when it comes to skill set, Kyler Murray is, in my opinion, a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. But he doesn't have an offensive line in front of him. You know, all he has is Marquise Hollywood Brown, you know, weapons-wise right now. And James Conner, the running back, he's formidable. He's definitely formidable. But
yeah, they're
that's
tight
their
ends.
offense. Those 3 players, that's their whole offense right there. The rest of them are, you know, the guy took over a team that was parted out and not built right to start with. So the new coach he's going to be trying to go in a good direction, but you know, we all see how the Cardinals have done in the past here, and you know they did have a couple coaches tell them no thanks. Sean Payton and our own former DC DeMeco Ryans, they just straight up told him no thanks.
Well, D'Amico found a great place in Houston. He's transforming that team to the fullest.
Well, think about it. You know what? Why didn't he go to the Cardinals? You know, is it their owner? Because you know a good franchise starts with good owners, good ownership. The owners hire the right people to run the organization, you know, and then that guy typically hires the head coach and so on and so forth. We kind of went a different direction back after after Jed York just fired Trent Balk. He said, "You no more of this." He hired Kyle, and then, you know, hired John. That's kind of the opposite of what typically happens. Typically, you hire your GM and then you hire your head coach. So, you know, it's working. I'm not going to argue with it. It's working. But we need a Super Bowl ring. You know, a team this good, we need a Super Bowl ring. But yeah, Kyler Murray is definitely, to get back to the subject, a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. He can pass the ball. Jalen Hurts,
okay, but
you know, he gets a job done, but he doesn't have the accuracy that Kyler Murray has.
He doesn't have the accuracy, but here's the only problem.
What? Speak on it.
I'm trying to think. It's because, like, I mean, I don't want any bias. That's the problem.
So all we doing for this game, and we got another running quarterback next week. We got the Ravens, so we just getting ready for the two quarterback runs. We got the little short guy.
Don't forget about Sam Howell. He can get outside the pocket too.
Oh, okay.
He's not as elusive, but he can.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about that game until what, week 18 or whatever it is. I don't know.
17.
Yeah, week 17.
So it's really interesting that we are playing, and now have played, right? We have played the Seahawks with a somewhat mobile Geno. Would you say Geno Smith's mobile? I kind of give him a little bit of mobility, right? He's a little bit of a pocket passer, but he can get out there, right? Then we'll go ahead and say he's not the most mobile, right? But we'll give him some little bit of credit, and that's just my humble opinion. Then we go Hurts. We had to stop him. We had to contain the pocket. We crushed the pocket, right? And he wasn't able to run up the lanes, right? Because we closed the gaps. So then we play the Seahawks, but it's a different quarterback. And that guy came out with a lot of confidence against us, but we still held it down. But it wasn't a running quarterback. Now we're playing another mobile running quarterback, and this one's a little bit more elusive. And with my thoughts is with the pocket, we can't attack them the same way we attacked the Eagles, because when the pocket's like that, and when it starts getting like that, little boy's gonna be little boy. The man, he's taller than me probably. I'd be honest with you. I don't know. He's like what, 5'8"? I think I'm 5'7" on a good day. So I really believe he would just rotate out and he'll be able to bootleg around the corner. We aren't going to be able to contain that if we over pursue and come around him. We're not going to be able to, they're not going to be able to close it off. And if we try to, keep the gaps, he's just going to rush around the side. So I think he's a little bit better of a passer than the quarterback we just played. I think Geno had a bad game. I'm not going to say he's a better passer than Hurts, but Jalen's not the same as he was last year, and I think he's hurt. I think he's got a hurt knee. That's my thoughts.
I think he does. And
I'll give it to you here in a second. Let me give it to CarCast, because CarCast hasn't got to speak a lot on this. And then we'll give it to John Jay. Red Jet Shell probably wants to jump in on this, and we'll give it to you as well. So CarCast, how should the Niners stop Kyler Murray, and how are they going to have to prepare for him differently than they prepared for Jalen Hurts, or they're going to have to prepare for Lamar Jackson in just a couple of weeks, couple of games, just really next week.
Yeah, next Monday night. Literally.
Yeah, you brought it up. Don't over pursue to the quarterback. Keep contained on the outside, because he can definitely loop around. Make off schedule throws. He's a good passer when it comes to passing the ball, but he's a better runner. He's really elusive in open space. Can make guys miss. So we're definitely gonna have to keep a quarterback spy on him if he does get to the outside and to the edges, because he's got the speed to turn the corner and get those crucial first downs when needed. But keep him inside the pocket for the main part. Make him one-dimensional, make him throw the ball, make him go through his progressions, get the ball out. But yeah, don't lose contain of the outside, because he's got the speed to beat you to the edge, and you don't want that. And, yeah, he might be a little bit of a better. He definitely has the arm. He can bomb it down the field, But I think we just got to keep him in the pocket, man. Make him one-dimensional and get pressure on him. And please maintain our gaps. Don't lose your gap integrity on the inside. Cover all the running lanes. Don't let him sneak through, because he is a small guy, so it's very shifty. So definitely have to keep eyes on him for the most part. But
right,
yep. That's just my thoughts. And you asked on Lamar Jackson?
Yep. How would you prepare for him? Different than you would prepare for Eagles quarterback, or the Cardinals, and now the Ravens. Can the same defense attack these quarterbacks the same way, or in your opinion, do they have to go into it with a different game plan? Even though they're mobile, they have a little bit of different skill set. Would you agree?
I think. Well, going back to Kyler Murray, I think he's obviously different than Hurts. Hurts is more of he looks like he's jogging out there on the field, but he's moving pretty fast. But Murray's just elusive, and I think Lamar's kind of the same way, very shifty. He's got these jukes, he's got all this, he can get to the outside. Hurts is kind of a little bit. He looks more comfortable out there, but these guys are it just gives off a different vibe. You know, these guys are like faster. They're not as big as Hurts, so
Right.
but you know they're more shiftier. They can make you miss an open field, like I brought up before. So you know, we're gonna have to keep eyes on these guys. You know, so definitely keep a spy on them. I think Greenlaw would be perfect in my mind. He's fast. He's physical. He can hit. You know, he covers a lot of ground, and he covers a lot of ground really quickly. So that's just my thoughts, really, in general overall. But yeah, that's just me. Yep.
All right, good take.
I think Bryant's muted, maybe.
Sorry, folks. I had to go
Maybe.
back and forth. I'm in between dad duty and helping. So, and I apologize. I got so many of you here, and you guys are all great co-hosts and friends, and I know we can keep the show going. John Jay, your thoughts? Same question coming to you. No fastball. We do know Kyler Murray wants to play for the A's. We'll keep it a baseball show. Oh, football show. Sorry.
Good dart. That was good.
But
yeah.
Same question. How do you defend against these three quarterbacks?
So the first quarterback we're playing is Kyler Murray. So that's the quarterback first. One thing about Kyler Murray, because he does have that baseball pedigree. A baseball runner, has a better, direction of how they run. No disrespect to Hurts and Lamar and those other quarterbacks. That's a good running form. You can tell the way he runs is like running like a receiver. So when he gets that open space, you can see how he runs. He's very elusive, like Brian said earlier. So one of the things you got to do is keep him in the pocket, like we did with Hurts. Keep him in the pocket. But Kyler Murray can throw the ball for a guy, his height. I think he's barely 5'10", 5'9". He can, he barely, he can throw that ball down the field like a guy with, the size who he is. He can play football, and there's a reason why he's in the NFL. So that's how we have to play him. Our secondary will have to play really well against the receivers. Again, the receivers are also hurt right now, so keep them in the pocket. Keep him in the pocket. When it comes to Lamar Jackson, like his instinct is run first. If you keep Lamar throwing the football, again, I kind of am a little bit biased towards Lamar. I kind of like Lamar, but there are some throws that he makes that are not really good. But for whatever the reason, he has that touch that gets the ball right where it's supposed to go. But defending them in the pocket, quarterbacks who are run first guys, make sure you make them throw the football. And Sam Howell, I used to like Sam Howell. The way he's been playing, he's really disappointed me because I was like one of the big proponents of him. But the guy throws a lot of interceptions. He throws a lot of picks. So that's for Sam Howell. We don't really need to do too much for him. He does scramble around, so he runs around a lot, but make him throw the football and he's going to have turnovers. So that's my thoughts.
Shout out to Philly's trash defense for making Sam Howell look like a top 5 quarterback both times. Play them.
All right, Red Jet, what do you got? You got anything on that great quarterback topic we're getting into? Do you defend these guys any different? There's definitely a height difference. There's definitely a accuracy difference, and I think there's a speed difference as well. And I don't want to. I'm going to say it. I think there's a difference in heart.
That's a good point. Well, if we go back to when we were talking about the 3-game gauntlet, we could start there. We were going into this like, okay, Thanksgiving, we got to go against Seattle. Then on the 3rd, we have Philly. And then the 10th, they come back here against Seattle. So that was the big thing that we were talking about, that we had to face Geno one time, then Drew Lock the next time, then Jalen Hurts, the list goes on and on. I think that if we go into it with the same mentality, it shouldn't matter how fast, slow, tall, short. how elusive, shifty, Pac-Man, Webster, Kyler Murray can be. That being said, I think that the adage for John Jay and CarCast is the same for me. I'm a little biased towards, dare I say it, Kyler, because of his shiftiness, and not because he really should have went to the A's, but that's neither here nor there. He just has that elusiveness. He's very shifty, and he's small, which means he can duck and dodge you real quick, and he's notorious for that. Granted, they're 3-10. It doesn't matter. They know that we're vying for that number one seed. We're trying to lock it up. We just have to lock it up, but we got to get past this person first. Same thing with Lamar. Same thing with the Commanders. Same thing with Matthew Stafford, but we haven't gotten there yet. We're just focused on Kyler. But at the end of the day, Kyler, that team has always played. They could be winless and still play their best football against us. Why? Because we go into it like we're going to score another 30 bird, another 40 bird, whatever the case may be. But every bird clearly is different. So
we played we've played some Seattle Seahawks. There's not a Seahawk out there, so some people call them the sea pigeons. Some people call them seagulls. I think seagulls really funny. Then again, the Eagles. Some people call them the filthy birds. Some people call them the pigeons. I think that one's a funny one. And it's just jokes. It's not nobody being hurtful of anybody. But again, we can take it. We're the 49ers. They call us the whiners. Okay, it happens. But then again, we go and play the Seagulls again, right? And then David, he calls them the spicy chickens or the red chickens, right? They got to be spicy for a reason. They're red. Then we have the purple chickens. So is the purple chickens, is that more like, oh my gosh, is that more like, I'm trying to think of the teriyaki sauce. Is that more like teriyaki chicken? Just you guys' thoughts. But let's bring in our guy down below, John LaJoy. Or JL, and you guys know I'm a big Batman fan, so we're going to call him the Justice League because he's one of the members, and we're bringing in him in, and I'm also going to throw it to Little Sponge here so he can give us his thoughts on how you would defend against 3 mobile quarterbacks. Hey, John.
Hey, what's up?
All right, Little Sponge, your thoughts. How do you defend against 3 mobile quarterbacks?
And then I have something after about Jalen.
Okay.
Sounds good. But I feel like we run a lot with Hurts, but I think Kyler runs a lot more. I think especially when his receivers can't get open because his receivers aren't the best. You can say that his wide receivers aren't the best. His wide receiver 1 is a wide receiver 2 on any other team. Think about that. But I think you rush him a little bit more, especially with his O-line not being very good. And if you can get to him, and the same goes for Sam Howell. His O-line isn't good. Rush him because, he cooked us twice in a row, but, that you guys definitely have the better chance to beat him.
Good points, Sponge. Real good points. Okay. Was you able to bring up your additional point about Jalen Hurts, or do you need to just
I'll do that right now. I think he might be a little hurt, as well as
no pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. I also feel like he doesn't like his coordinator, and he definitely showed frustration last game where he was yelling at Brian Johnson. And as a coordinator, he's been with most of his most of his life, I believe. Because I think it's since college, I believe, or high school. I don't know, but I know they've been together as coordinator quarterback duo for a long time. Not just the NFL. But he's physically frustrated, not with his team, but with who his coordinator is. You can tell he's physically frustrated with his play calling. And you can tell a lot of the defensive players are frustrated with Sean Desai. They showed it. It's bad.
I think your defense, man, is went through some really, really dramatic changes from the off season to this year. And some of the players that were a little bit more aggressive, you know, the dogs, if you want to say, guys, you guys got to learn to tackle in that backfield. The defensive backs, they stand for like do not want to tackle. I'll break down something funny later for that. But let's give it to John. John, your thoughts? You got 3 mobile quarterbacks. You know, how do you defend against each one? Do you line up the same way, or is these 3 different guys or have just a little bit different athleticism, a little bit of different mobility or traits? One's funnier, maybe. Can one scream out the cadence a little bit, you know, darker and get an offsides? You know, your thoughts.
Well, when we play against Mighty Mouse, I don't really see that we have that big of issue. Yeah, we don't have basically both of our good D tackles in, but we do have good backups too. And we can change it around because once in a while, Nick Bosa does like to play D tackle once in a while. And he did that basically in college too. So all we got to do is play the smash mouth football and take care of business. And with Lamar Jackson, it's basically we just got to keep him in the pocket. Don't let him run. And with his weapons, like with Flowers, Odell Beckham, and those guys, because me and Levi has talked about this, that is going to be the basically the tricky game that we play, but we got to keep them unguard basically and still play our smash mouth football. And hey, Spongy, you want to know who changed your name? It was me.
I know. I knew it.
Hell yeah. What's up, John?
You're
How
all
you doing?
welcome.
Good one, John.
I
got a laugh out of that when I tried to get into here and it said Bang Gang 49ers.
Yep, that was me.
Yep, I knew it was you, but I wasn't gonna point out names until I figured out who it was.
You could have, because James already said it once in the chat, and Carcass knew about it too.
Oh, yeah, it must have been when my phone died last night, and then
Yes, it was.
It was tonight.
Nah,
Sorry,
dude, it's just the Eagles' Wi-Fi. I don't want to hear it.
Not the Wi-Fi. Not the Wi-Fi.
My phone died, and then I'm like, okay, I don't want to turn my phone back on because I was like, I'm tired, bro.
Bro,
What's up, John? How you doing tonight?
Doing good. And since you guys were talking about the MVP, I would have to throw in basically George Kittle for just from East Coast Red and Gold.
That's a good one. Hell yeah.
But will he get it? Probably not.
No.
So, guys,
They might
we
give
have
the
the
MVP
ability.
to Taylor Swift.
Oh.
We have the ability, folks. We have the possibility, and I'm sure you probably have heard this from other people, but it's one of those, could it happen? It very well could happen. We have the ability, if you can help, vote, cast your vote, Go on Twitter. Do what you got to do. We have the opportunity to get 13 Pro Bowlers in. Your guys' thoughts. Let's start with David Corona. With 13 Pro Bowlers, right? You know, half of them are probably going to be on defense. Half of them are probably going to be on offense. I believe we have Tabor Pepper and Mitch Wisnowski vying for a playoff, a Pro Bowl spot. So sounds like we've got a pretty special team. What do you think, David Corona?
You know what? We don't need nobody in the Pro Bowl this year because we're gonna be in the big game. So we're gonna be in the Super Bowl this year. So we don't. They could have those. Somebody else could have those spots. You know.
Hey, David, are you sure about that?
So yeah, I'm sure we're gonna win it for Corey Davis. So yeah, I don't think none of the Niners gonna be on it this year because we're gonna be at the big game.
Well, I like that point, but let's again, there's a chance that they can make the Pro Bowl and they can say, "Oh, we need an alternate because we're going to the Super Bowl," but they still get that vote. They still get to be voted in.
So it'll be Christian McCaffrey. It'll be George Kittle. It'll be Juice, Nick Bosa, and Hargrave.
Don't forget Warner.
And Fred Warner. So that's 6.
Yeah.
That was my 6 right there.
Maybe even Deshaun Gibson. You never know.
Yeah, those my 6 right there.
David McNider, are you
Gibson
able to pull up the MVP 49er projections?
The Pro Bowl, you mean?
You mean
Yeah,
Pro
Pro
Bowl?
Bowl.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl. Yes, thank you, folks. Thank you so much.
I
Is it-
believe
is
we're
it in
actually
Vegas this year?
leading. I believe 7 players are actually leading it, but NFL Pro Bowl votes.
And
let's
guys,
see
don't
what's
forget
going
to
on
vote
here.
Jalen Hurts for the Pro Bowl. I
No,
know that's your
bro.
guys' favorite quarterback.
Oh,
No,
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 no.
you can't make me, Sponge.
Same here.
All here.
Going through it.
I do want to point out, Spongy.
What's up,
Don't forget
Larka? How you doing
Danny
tonight?
DeVito, your favorite quarterback.
Can't believe
In
you
the
guys
Pro
are,
Bowl?
can't believe
Tommy
you guys
DeVito's
are
in
the
the
5th
play
seed.
in the Pro Bowl.
You
Yes.
guys are the
Wait a minute.
5th seed? Oh my god.
DeVito's in the Pro
Right
Bowl.
for 11 weeks. Wow. How the mighty have
Well,
fallen.
so far, Tua's actually leading the way. But when it comes to running
Yeah.
backs, Christian McCaffrey is straight up.
I'm not shocked.
I think receiver it's Tyreek. It has to be.
All right, let's.
Yeah.
Oh,
find
don't
out.
forget
I
Debo.
want to see
That's
that.
7.
Yes, Tyreek Hill is leading all wide receivers.
Yeah, but he's injured.
Travis
right now.
Kelce, even with his bad game because his girlfriend was out of town.
From was there, I think. Was she? I think Swift was there.
Yikes.
Needs to learn to focus.
I think it's funny how, I kind of have this as a conspiracy theory, that the Eagles already had Jason Kelce, and in the offseason, we went and picked up DeAndre Swift. Yeah,
Well,
and
we're
then now,
actually so this site is actually showing me that we have the most votes by team, but it's not saying who.
It's so funny because you guys picked up DeAndre Swift, but he hasn't done squat for you. He hasn't done squat for you guys.
we haven't been running him, and the games we run him, we see that he can do a ton for this team.
Well, that's a you guys problem. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's why Carter.
How do you guys know? Dang.
Just saying, bro.
I know, and I'm also just saying, yeah.
Did you guys have some good tickets when you guys went to the game? Red Jet.
Oh yeah, Shell. Please tell us about your experience. Tell us about your experience.
Oh my god!
Briefly did a little bit.
Oh wow! I'm
but-
like,
I was trying to talk to you. You got stuck.
I know.
Yeah.
I got lost in the whole. That's a you guys problem.
Uh,
Okay, so Experience at the game was amazing. I had a great time. The seats where I was with Miss Debbie gives you a pretty much a 360 view. I was in the 200 section, so I was in between, obviously the top tier and the bottom, where the where the rich people sit. So I mean the really rich people, the ones that pay like $20,000 a seat. Yeah, those people.
I'll be in 208 when I go.
She was in where were we? Section 224. So we were right in the middle of the pack. So
hell yeah.
we were on the goalpost, just like a row up, and then
hell yeah.
So where I sat, and then the whole experience was, I mean, man, when I say that she knows people, she knows people. She is the reason that I was able to. Bryant may have seen my pictures already posted on Instagram. Without her, I wasn't able to bring in my camera. I could have done damage with my phone, but it's not the same. So if you're taking a camera, not your camera phone, the lens cannot be more than 3 inches, pause, but it can't be more than 3 inches. If it's more than that, they're going to make you take it back to your car. So let's keep that in mind. I didn't have any food, like I was telling Bryant yesterday when I went solo on Terradome Show, if he's still here. Pause. The food, I didn't really eat much, but the lame ass churro that I got, yeah, not so much. Yes, Rod gets to get the royalty treatment with Miss Debbie. Oh, super jealous. Oh my God, but super excited. I'm gonna leave it out because I want him to have the same experience I did. So
you saying the churro is not that good?
For $7.50, it should have been hot, spicy, pause, but hot, sweet, ready, crunchy, and it was not. Disappointed.
I would have took that back. I would have took that one bite. I would have took it back.
Can't.
No,
you can't do that.
You don't do that.
Once you buy it, that's
You don't do that.
Yeah, they don't do that. Nope.
Oh.
You don't
They
do
give
that
you
to
that's
stand in
what
the line.
You're right,
Yeah,
but
you're
2
gonna
hours
end
for
up
a
standing
churro,
in
no
line
thanks,
for
it's
half
not
the
that deep.
game if you try to do that.
Exactly.
But just
like,
David Corona, stay away from the fries, buddy. I'm telling you this right now. Stay
yeah, I
away
heard that
from the
too.
fries.
I didn't have any fries, no food. The garlic sausages are trash. The hot dogs are trash. The French fries are trash. I don't drink. I heard the beer is trash. I mean, I was telling Bryant yesterday, I'm like, either you sit in the suites or you're not getting good food. That's just what it is. On the green section, which is way high above, that section that overlooks the whole stadium from the top down. That they said that section is where it's at. The food is cooked to order. I'm like, wow.
To update.
But how much do you pay to get to the green section, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right, because that's the David. Those are the seats that are way up, and they look all the way down. So, I have yet to experience that. But my
you saying all the food is garbage?
No.
I mean, some of it could be good. Like chicken fingers are pretty good. Yeah.
The chicken strips are good, but I can't, say anything about anything else.
Yeah.
But so the Pro Bowl, we were just talking about the Pro Bowl voting. In the NFC, we have McCaffrey, Purdy, George Kittle, Juice, and Trent Williams leading the votes at their positions.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's 5 players. Defense, we have Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave, and Fred Warner. We have 8 guys in the NFC leading the votes at their
almost got all of them right. It's that Purdy.
And that's not including guys like Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, who have a great chance.
What about is Jason Kelce Pro Bowl eligible? Is he leading for centers?
I think he's listed as too old.
I was going to say the same thing.
Oh shit! Hell yeah.
I'm kidding.
That's a good one.
Geno Smith is a good quarterback. Should he be eligible?
No,
he made it last year. Did he make it last year?
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, because I think he's gonna win the Super Bowl. I think he's gonna win the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, don't start this.
Oh God, pause.
Yeah, definitely pause.
Red Jet, there's a little bit of a thing going on there. So one of the guys in the panel made a bet with another gentleman, and normal people
somebody
bet
lost a bet.
jerseys and stuff like that. But this guy has guts. He's got guts.
He's got heart.
So if Geno Smith wins a Super Bowl in the next 3 seasons, including this season, the guy has to get his name tattooed on his buttocks.
So
That's the
we
part
were
where I
trying.
go, thank
we
you
were
for
trying
joining
to-
our show. Good night.
delicately explain this to this individual. Just go with the jersey, but he was adamant about the tattoo and confident, very, very confident. So we had to make this wager where the jersey tattoo is permanent, right? So if he wins, he's getting a jersey, a black number 13 jersey, 49er jersey. If he loses, but it's just there's like a curve to it, right? The player Geno Smith could be on the team for the next 3 years. If that team wins the Super Bowl in Seattle in the next 3 years, there's meat going to skin. Okay, that's just what's happening. All right, he doesn't have to be the starter.
Yep. I'm pretty
Okay, I
sure
don't know
it's
which one is worse. I don't know which
No,
one is
we're-
worse.
we're
The
not-
tattoo or
we're
me
not
going
naming
solo
the-
on the podcast
We're not
yesterday.
going to name the guy on the panel that made the bet. We're not going to do it.
No, because
But
honestly, he's got heart. He's confident.
He just said it.
He loves Geno Smith
I
enough.
like it.
He loves Geno Smith enough that he would get a tattoo. Of
Hey, he also loves Dallas. He also loves the Cowboys.
No,
Don't forget-
Wait.
that's my wife's team.
I
Yeah,
don't.
so
I don't.
you're-
Okay.
So
I think I've
you
heard
have
enough.
half stake in the
My
team.
ears. My poor ears.
Hey, Spongy sent me a clip where you said, "Let's go Cowboys." He ain't lying.
Uncle.
Sponge, could you speak
We
on
have a
that?
lot of fun, Michelle. We have a lot of fun here. We try to keep it clean, but sometimes we give each other a little bit hard time sometimes.
I'm scared of this chat.
Okay, folks, we got a little bit of time before we're going to go over to the David McNiner show.
Go
And
Sponge.
David McNiner, he's got the evening, the later show. And if you can't make the whole show, but if you can pop in at least and hit the like, and stick around for a little bit, that's great. David might have a little bit of a different panel too, as well. We always have different friends that come in and go. And it's always fun to have, a lively conversation with respectable people like you all. And again, thank you all for coming. We're not going away anytime soon yet, but folks, I wanted to show you guys the intro. Since we got a lot of people in here right now, I wanted to show you the intro real quick of what you have to look forward to when we're going live. And here we're going to go. It's like just a couple seconds, so I'm pretty excited about it. We played it at the beginning of the show, and we'll play it in the middle here. Okay, we're going to go down here. And this is my intro for the Friday night show. All right, I appreciate everybody. I really do. It's a lot of fun. We got Jason, Captain Iron Massey coming in. We got a lot of people here. Really do appreciate it. We're gonna work on that intro a little bit, and we're gonna add some people as well, and we're gonna just keep it fun. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit better at it, I think, and I'm having a lot of fun. So
What about the
guys,
other one? What about the other one? This is Friday night. Corey,
Yeah. So everybody who's going to be hosting the show, Ryan clipped this, and we'll go ahead and play it as well. It's for a good friend. He introduced the show better than anybody, and then I'll segue into the end of the show. So this will be something that everybody will be able to play at the beginning of the show. And then, again, if you go back to the beginning of the show, I dropped it, then I dropped the intro, and everybody will have their own like little style. But here is all of our friends. Further ado.
Hello, it is time to start the show. And I'm going to get started right after this.
So that's pretty cool. So, with that, he's kind of with us every Friday night. And yeah, a lot of fun. Yesterday was his services. And I'll quickly just show you guys some I have a pamphlet, and it's really cool. They did a lot of nice stuff with it. Really nice. And not the best pictures. I'll try to blow them up later. But that's what Corey, sorry for the glare. That's what Corey looked like. That's Corey right there, guys. So they this is him as a baby.
Oh, oh.
That really does. That looks like Corey.
Young Corey.
And,
It's young Corey.
So I thought this was cool. They put a bunch of pictures to show everybody. If anybody wants a pamphlet, they can reach out to me and I can make them a pamphlet. And then here's another check out his fashion. Sorry again for the glare.
Right.
But he definitely
for me.
Yep.
Again, that's the goat.
Yep.
David Coretta. Didn't you say you wanted a pamphlet?
Yeah.
Yep.
We got that worked out.
Yeah, I was gonna try to drive out to Richmond, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't because I knew it was was one of those times. So I step away from it.
It was
so.
It was a lot of family that showed up. Looked like a lot of his family. It was just a lot of friends. I don't think there might have been one or two empty seats in the church. We had a really good turnout. Everybody got to say some stuff that wanted to say, and you guys know, I'm not afraid to say anything. And I took my time.
Did you go out there?
I did. And I said something for all of us.
Nice.
So, I did mention this. And it was awesome. And then I sat down, or a couple other people said some stuff. And then all of a sudden, we heard a bunch of car alarms going on outside. They were just going off, crazy going off. And I talked to my wife this morning, and we think Corey was there. We think it was that kind of, because there was too many car alarms going off at that time, and it was just kind of one of those surreal moments. And everybody in the church kind of said it. Kind of was like there was just that aura, really, really cool. So again, thank you guys all for your friendship. It's been great being on YouTube with you and talking with you, talking 49ers football. And if there's anything you guys need, you reach out and I'll try to help you in my ways. David Corona, we're looking forward to when you get your channel going. David McNiner, he's got his channel running. You guys turn on the notifications and subscribe to David McNiner so you can be tuned in when he goes live. And you might see me on his show once or twice. Carcast down below, he's a great guy, and he does a lot of good stuff on his channel, and it's exploding. John Jay, one of the coolest guys around here, he's got a channel, and you should pop in, take a look. He does a lot of daily shows. And Jet, we're gonna get her a show here soon. She's talking one way, and we know she's talking the other way. We know she's gotta get pushed in one way, and it'll be here. And you know how to turn on the bat signal.
Up to the force.
That's right. We got Spongy down below, and he's changed his name from Little Sponge. He's always been Little Sponge here, but it's Philly Special Cards. And check his channel out. He does game card openings. It was really kind of cool. And then John LaJoy, he's probably the newest one here to having a channel. Yep. And he's growing really, really fast. And he's got some good content, and every show's getting better and better. So I'm going to give it to David McNiner. David, is there anything that you'd like to talk about that you're doing new with your show, or anything interesting that you want to just let people know? I think you got new equipment, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I got some new hotness. I got me a laptop because I was streaming on a tablet, and while the tablet meets the bare minimum to stream with on StreamYard, this laptop absolutely blows away what their requirements are and is so much nicer. It just really is. You know, I think I sound better. My picture quality might be way better. You know, when it comes to functions and it actually doing what I want it to do, I can see everything happening. It's great. Yep. But truth be told,
It is awesome.
Now I need to go get my picture because I don't want people looking at that thing. What is that? I'm a ghost on YouTube.
Not the ghost.
So I got to find a way to get my pictures on this thing. I think, I mean, it's just different operating systems than my other ones. So, you know, I think I'm going to try just emailing stuff to myself and downloading it because, you know, if it works, it works, right?
Yeah, because that's what's happened. What I've seen is like Tony's tablet, her icons are on her tablet. Then when I was on my phone, only my icons are on my phone just for that. It's that device that you downloaded them to. So then if you want to use them to your new device, you need to email them or you need to go and find them on, you know, your device and save them. And then you can adjust them onto your avatar. Yeah, guys, it's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and John LaJoy down at the bottom. You have to speak a whole lot. We appreciate you coming in. You came in a little late, and we don't.
That's fine.
Never late, you know, to the party. You're always on time. What do you have? What do you have coming on with your show? Any new updates? I know you've been doing the pick'ems, and your Friday show has been rocking. You've been killing it.
And plus, I'm doing the play-by-play on Sunday too. So that's something new. And I am working on one other thing with my older son that is in his 20s. He's going to do basically my background music, custom music with a electric guitar.
That'd be kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah, when you start bringing in more music and stuff like that, it just makes it funner. You don't have to have all the bells and whistles, but it definitely makes the show a little bit more entertaining.
Custom,
John Jay's got a lot of different things going on with his show. One thing that I really like about his show is the ending credits. And the beginning credits, I believe. He's got that, it almost sounds like Dateline type of, it's a real news report kind of, it's got a really cool jingle. So, yeah, when you guys get you dialed into the right situation, it really works out. Folks, it's almost that time to start singing MICKEYMOUSE. So I'm sticking strong with my 14-3 record, and I think the sky's the limit. I think you guys all do too. It's Corey Davis, request for Corey Davis. The man yesterday was buried all in 49ers. He was buried in his jersey. He was buried with his 49er flag. He was buried with in a white casket trimmed in gold, really nice.
Hey, authentic autographed Jerry Rice jersey, folks.
Wait,
Nice.
they actually got it for him?
Yeah.
They actually found a way to get it for him?
Yeah, we got
Brian.
it, Sponge. We all, a bunch of us got together and we got it. And it got delivered to him. It got delivered to him on Tuesday. You know, he passed Sunday, but he got delivered to him Tuesday. And he was told Saturday that he was going to be getting it. So he knew it was coming. And he was very excited. He knew it was coming from all of us. And when we left, we threw flowers in for everybody as well. I grabbed a handful of flowers, and it was for the crew. So, yeah, guys.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Really appreciate you all. Just keep on pushing his name out there. We got him to 433. I feel like as long as we continue to grow, he can continue to grow. And I kind of goofed today. The show's title should be the Friday Night Corey Davis Show with Friends, and I put the Friday Night Show. So later, if you come back and looking for the video, I'll change the title. But yeah, guys, Red Jet Show. I love the name. It takes me a second to say it because I slip up with my tongue. I really do sometimes. I get going too fast. But super excited that you got to go to the game the other day. What were the pins that you got from Miss Debbie? Were they
Oh,
Super
so they
Bowl?
were from the game. So they were from all the games from this year. And
Okay.
so we go to the team store and she just buys these pins. And I'm like, okay, I didn't think anything of it. The guy rings her up. I'm just like, lost in it all. And she turns to me, just hands them to me and said, "This is for you." I'm like, wow. I was queen for a day and it was awesome. It was awesome. I don't know if Rod is still here, but he's going with her on Christmas Day, the Monday night game. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
yeah, he told me, yeah. But yeah, Rod will definitely be there. So have an amazing time. Just everything I told you, Rod. Now it's your turn to be king for a day. Your turn. Have fun. The red carpet is rolled all the way out. She pulls out no stops. So she doesn't leave anything unturned. Like she is a real one, all class. And when I say everybody knows her, you'll see. You'll see.
She's a very nice lady. I've got to see her on Facebook. I've got to see her on Twitter. I've been to a couple games, but I haven't seen her personally. I think I know the area that she sits, but then I've been told that she has many different hats and she sits in many different seats. So I think she travels a little bit. And sometimes when you go to the game, one thing that I've noticed too is it's not that you don't want to take in just the game. Sometimes there's moments in the game where you're like, okay, I can get up and I can go to the restroom now. I can go get me another refreshment. I can go say hi to that person. Right. It's not that far. I know where they're sitting at. And with that, other people travel too through the stadium. I was able to meet a couple people that were just walking through the stadium and maybe they're not so worried about missing a play because they know they're going to go back home and watch the replays, but they're there to soak the whole experience in. And it's truly a family experience, and you get hooked real easy. Am I right, David?
Yes. Yes, big time. It's a lot of fun. You got to be noisy though.
God willing, me and
Debbie will tell you, I was screaming like a freaking banshee next to 2 Seahawk fans, which I have proof that I have pictures with them. And fun fact, I'm only on Instagram now because I was on Twitter, I was on Facebook, the whole nine. Oh, nice. Oh my God. You're gonna have a great time, Rod. Oh my God. But when we're sitting at the game, we're just sitting there. She and I are just chopping it up about like social media and all these different the platforms on YouTube and stuff. And out of nowhere, 2 Seahawk fans just calmly walk, and then they're coming over towards us, and they're like, "Don't beat us up. We're gonna sit here. We have to sit here. These are our seats." And I'm like, "Fine, you just had to sit." One thing leads to another. They are now following me on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Nicest Seahawks fans I have ever met. And get this, there were only 10 fans out there. I'm just kidding. No, there was a very small handful of Seahawks fans, but no drama. That could have been because half the police force was at the stadium, but neither here nor there. But no drama in the parking lots, the restaurants, the stadium. Nothing. No problems yesterday. No problems Sunday. None at all.
It's funny because I've been to a Bengal game, I've been to a Giant game, I've been to a Bronco game, I've been to a Packer game, and I've only been to 4 at Levi's if I'm correct. And I've seen a lot of Packer fans in Levi's. They travel very well. Packer fans do. My aunt and uncle flew from Indiana out. So I got to, it's like they travel well, right? So then the Bengals game in 2014 I went to, 2015, I think, 2014, 2015 game. Blaine Gabbert was the quarterback. I seen Bengal jerseys in our stadium. I thought that was,
I thought that was kind of funny, right?
You're like, Bengal jerseys. And this week, this year when me and David and we went up there to the Giants game, we did see some Giant jerseys. Not as many Giant jerseys, but there were some Giant jerseys, and I think that's the difference too. Niner fans.
Well, wait. We did see. I saw an Eagles fan. I saw an Eagles fan.
Hey!
Yes. I saw
Shout out to that Eagles
one
fan.
whole Eagles fan.
Shout out to that Eagles fan.
With a Dawkins jersey. I was like, okay, I respect that. Not
Randy fans.
Sounds like an Eagles fan, Red Jet. That sounds like an Eagles fan.
Is an Eagles fan. He might be.
Randy's funny.
Sadly-
He's got it.
Sadly, those are the people we
Not
have in our
only
family.
fans did. Not a free check. Okay, Laura, pause.
Sometimes you don't feed the fire, like.
Right?
Go down one more, Brian.
Oh, God.
All right.
5,900 a minute.
Well, I'm gonna get on out of here, folks. Get set up for my show.
All right, we'll hold up a couple more minutes, and then everybody will start piling over there. We'll go do a David McNiner raid.
Not the raid.
But go Niners, and as Corey Davis would say, F all the 31 other teams.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy. So yeah, got to go over there. Feel a lot better seeing Corey and his family had a really nice barbecue. We didn't get to stay for that. We'll try to go back over one day. You guys remember talking to Cedric, the Pittsburgh Steelers fan at the beginning of the season that Corey had on a show? Got to meet him in person. He did a lot of work at the ceremony. And it's just Corey's family's a lot like him. Just wonderful people. Really, really wonderful people. And yeah, guys, appreciate everybody for coming. And really just had a lot of fun with everybody. Carcast, man, dude, you just keep grinding. Little Sponge, thanks for coming. We give you a little bit because you're an Eagles fan, but I think we give you a little bit because you give you give us a little bit about the Niners. So it's all good fun. And yeah,
Sure.
John.
I have to ask you a question.
Go ahead. You got a question?
Oh, so I'm thinking of, and this goes for all of you. I'm thinking of having a podcast soon, and I'll have guests on for shows, and you guys are welcome. I can schedule it and stuff.
Schedule it. So cute. So freaking
Hey, getting started young will definitely help you. And if you're enjoying it now, then you have a lot of time to master different things, learning how to make thumbnails, learning how to make trailers and all kinds of, video editing, learning what different apps to, go for, which ones work for you, which ones are free, which ones you pay a little bit more money and they come with better bells and whistles. Some of the stuff costs a little bit of money and some of the stuff you can do with little money. So the more you invest in yourself, hey, there's also a lot of people here in the 49ers faithful group that you probably can reach out to that, and I'm sure Philadelphia Eagle fans will give you tips and stuff as well. So yeah, just every day you can do something. One thing that I was told is you can learn something. You can learn something new every day.
You can ask a lot of these people in here. I've reached out to them already.
Yeah. Yeah. And, again, a lot of kind hearts here and good people. So with that, guys, it's been a lot of fun. It's a Friday night show. Appreciate you all coming. If anybody wants to throw their scores in the chat before they leave for this upcoming game, that's great. If not, I tell you what. Oh,
I say 38-10.
Rod Kelly brings up a good point. Canva, that's what I'm using, and it is super easy.
Same here.
Yeah.
Canva does a lot of
damn near free. Yeah.
Love it, Randy. 72-6.
So bad.
Well, still, we can't beat that 73.
I have 63 to 21 Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to channel their inner Raiders.
Flip it around, Spongy. 42 to 13.
I say 38 to 10.
All right.
No,
what do you
actually,
got? You got a game prediction?
72.
The score for the Niner game?
Scoring 72.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
28-24 Niners. Why not? Let's make it fun. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, the 3-10. Why not?
I will say last week I went with 42-12. So this week I'll make it fun. 33-9. Niners win. Let's go. With that, folks, gonna go ahead and end. We try to go to 2 hours. That's why we're dragging it out a little bit. But I think we said all we could say. Again, I like the ending. If you don't know, then I don't know where you've been, but I like to finish it by going MICKEY MOUSE. Now you've come. Oh, we have. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. Yeah, I totally butchered that, but I really do appreciate you all for coming, and we're gonna go ahead and get out of here.
All right, let's go Niner. All right, you guys have a see you guys over there.
Go Birds.
We'll,
all right, later.